little remains this morning here in America of the Juneteenth parade along MLK there. Just above the rise atop the summit in Knoxville. Remnants of the party over yonder are gone this morning. When I was at Beck Center making my annual pilgrimage there to see what the latest is, I had a number of questions for whoever was there. I was hoping to meet Dr. Kessler, as I always have, but she was not there the other day. So spoke to some of the archivists there that were busy at work, and I posed to them some of my questions. One of the questions I had is, where is Calvin Johnson's grave in Oddsfellows Cemetery? I said I'd been through there a number of times over the years that I've lived here, after learning especially that he was buried here, and I can't find him. Well, one of the archivists said, and I don't remember her name, he's buried in a plot, a family plot, with a gate around it, with a fence around it. So I have found it. And after a little search, thankfully it's along the main path here through the cemetery. And it is a family plot. Calvin Johnson, at the turn of the 20th century, here in Knoxville, became the richest man in Tennessee. He was born into slavery, and by the time he died in the 1920s, he was one of the richest men in Tennessee. Johnson was very much an industrial man. He was definitely an entrepreneur that, he'll take on anything to make a buck. And he sure did. Everything from racehorses. He had a horse track here outside Knoxville. He had a couple saloons outside Knoxville. He had a couple of buildings, apartment buildings or houses. I'm not sure. One of them still remains downtown, just off of Gay Street in downtown, which I think now is an apartment building or condo, but the Cal Johnson building. I mean, this man did everything, and quite the entrepreneur, always willing to work, always willing to earn a dollar, and riches came his way because of that. Here is the center stone in the family plot. and it is Cal Johnson's mother and father. It is for Cal Johnson's mother and father. And this home away from home was paid for by Mr. Johnson. He was responsible for his parents' burial plot and headstone, which is quite elaborate. I suppose, as it should be, being the centerpiece here of the family plot. Family plot is quite large. Looks like Cal Johnson was doing some burying here. Yes? He had some funeral bills, it looks like. If he's anything like Elvis, the white kid from Memphis who became super rich, ended up taking care of family for his entire life, and even afterwards. Plot is quite large. And here we go with Cal Johnson and his wife. There are stones here. His wife, Maggie. Those are her dates. And Calvin's stone. Now, this is not how the stones were in 1927 after Maggie had died. She, of course, died after Calvin. But, yeah, Maggie's stone is probably original. But I know Calvin's is not. I've seen pictures of Calvin Johnson's gravestone. Original. And that is not it. Thankfully, though, someone or somebody or some group paid for looks like a relatively new tombstone there. But I sort of like how it stands out in a way. In its own marble, sort of white way here. In this very gray and grim garden of stones here. In what in Knoxville was a very historical black cemetery.